Let's talk about what's happening over there in Enyimba. Enyimba fans, known as the Ultras or Columbia Boys, staged a live protest at the Enyimba Stadium on Tuesday, demanding the dismissal of club chairman Nwankwo Kanu. The demonstration coincided with the Abia State Government's announcement of Emmanuel Deutsch as the new head coach. The Deputy Governor Ikechukwu Emetu also confirmed Daniel Eke as the Enyimba sporting director, signaling a major shake-up in the club's leadership structure. Fans have expressed frustration over recent performances and are calling for decisive action to restore the club's dominance in Nigerian football. Now, we've got Henry, who is also joining us to talk about this. It's been crazy what's happening with the elephants of Aba, and the fans are calling for a change, and we're hearing that a change has come, but protesting during an event early today is not something that should happen. What do you think about that, Henry?
It's very interesting. You know, I don't think since I've been following Enyimba, I've never seen them being in this kind of precarious situation as it is now. And it's not something that makes anyone who is a football stakeholder in Nigeria and the Enyimba supporter happy in any way. So that's what you're seeing right there. Okay, imagine the unveiling that was going on today. Even the chairman of the club was not on ground. That's to tell you. How will you be running Enyimba in Ascension? How will you be running Enyimba from UK? I don't know any football club that is run like that. And not like you have someone who actually knows what he's doing right there. If Ekweme was there before, unfortunately, he resigned. Then Kanu's PA, or his chief of staff, as they say, took over. Someone that knows nothing about football. It's unfortunate, and you can see what's happening. The results are not really what it is. Administratively, the club is going down every day, and nobody is happy about it. So that's what's happening. But unfortunately, Kanu himself is not really seeing the handwriting on the wall. That's what we are getting. So today, you already saw what's happening. He had the handwriting because the government, I say it every time, the governor being the person that appointed him and his CV, it will be denting his CV to say that he was sacked in Enyimba. The government is giving him the leeway to understand that, okay, you've not done well, why don't you resign? But he's forcing the hand of the government. And the Kanu, as much as he has gone in football, should have understood that by now you appointed a coach, and the government, 2 days later, the government appointed another coach. You went ahead to appoint an appointee like you, Ikechukwu, who was appointed as a board member in the club. You went ahead and appointed him as a sporting director. A day later, the government appointed another sporting director in Daniel Eke. And he does not even see them as okay, this is what you're doing is not what we want. He was calling the shot from UK. But unfortunately, the deputy governor had to come to take some actions today as directed by the governor. So we are waiting to see what he will do because from the feelers we are getting, if he doesn't take the initiative, I think the government will have to read the big stick. So that's it.
Right, Victor, let me bring you up on this one now. Yes, wedging the big stick. And we say because you played football, it doesn't mean you're going to be a great football administrator. Now, we've seen this in recent times. Now, a lot of people have called out Nwankwo Kanu, saying that he has not been the best administrator, especially right there in Enyimba. What is your take on this conversation right now? And what do you think the solution should be? Should he step down or be given maybe another chance until the end of the season? Because right now they are not so far from battling relegation. Should it be given until the end of the season, or drastic measures should be taken?
It's glaring to see. The writing is right there on the wall, and he's not taking cue from what has been happening in recent times, especially. It's not done well. I think in the first place, the Enyimba itself, didn't get the right serving of the cake by appointing Nwankwo Kanu as the chairman. Yes, he can actually bring in some big juicy deals for them. He can do some things for them. But I think it could have been better if it was in a different operational, not as the chairman of that particular club. Enyimba is too big a club to be treated the way they have actually had the treatment over the last few months thereabouts. And it's kind of when you see that it's still happening. We've had the back and forth, and now it's getting messier. It's taking the fans to come out here on a day when they are supposed to unveil a manager who has been waiting for several weeks. And then you have the sporting director, Rick Maroon, going on in there. There are questions that should be asked of the government at this point in time. What exactly is your go-to plan? What is your plan B, given that Nwankwo Kanu is not saying the writing on the wall? What exactly is happening in the rank and file? And the earlier they start treating it as it should be, the better it is for an heavyweight in Nigerian football. I mean, they have done all that work in time past, and it's too bad that they are being ridiculed this way. The name Enyimba is very ridiculed this way. The elephants should not be trampled on like this, and it's distasteful to say the least, actually, when you talk about it. I think right now, the government will have to take the bull by the horn and do what they need to do so that they will get by, and then whatever is remaining to be rescued of this season, they get on with it, and then they start the process, and then they get to prepare ahead of the coming season. Because for now, this season looks gone with everything. So why not start now, engineer whatever you want to engineer, and then get better as the day goes by. I want to see them address the issue of Emmanuel Deutsch and Coach Deji. I want to see them address the issue of the sporting director and who takes what role. I also want to see them, if they are going to change the role of Kanu Nwankwo in there, to ensure that they get someone who knows his onions, who knows Nigerian football as it should be, as an administrator. I think that these are the steps that they should take. Otherwise, they're just playing around with the announcement and the official unveiling that they have done. Otherwise, they will still be roaming around and beating around the same bush with the wrong stick.
Right, just looking at the table now, Enyimba are on 14 points, 31 points from 26 matches. They've had 8 wins, 7 draws, 11 losses. Just above the relegation zone, Henry. And this is the same club that we keep going back to back in the days in history, that this is the only club that has won the CAF Champions League back to back. Where did they even get it wrong? I know it is not the appointment of Nwankwo Kanu that made the club go down. Where exactly did Enyimba get it wrong that made them fall this way?
You can't take it away from that. It's actually the appointment of Kanu Nwankwo that led to this. This did not start one day. There was a time I appeared on your program and I said something. I said that was when they had the issue of traveling for a continental match, which they went to the airport to buy tickets on the counter. So I said it that everything has a process. If you want to have a pot of soup, you have to cook it, you don't bake it. If you want to have cake, you have to bake it, you don't cook it. So, and when you miss this process, you will definitely miss the product you want at the end of the day. So, Kanu Nwankwo and the Ifeanyi came in. They came in, they made something on ground, and that thing they made on ground, they did not improve on it. You meant the quality of players that Enyimba had in 2003 when they won the league. All of a sudden, some of those players started leaving. And instead of replacing with players, you're replacing with players that cannot even lace their boots when it comes to an NLL game. That's what you have in Enyimba. You had in Enyimba players that are gearing up to play in the national team presently, like Wukai that is in Turkey presently. Those are the players that are in Enyimba those days. So what are we saying? They came in, they recruited players that we are unable to hold their own every day. Now, the administrative part of, the players have been owed about 35 match bonuses. That was what led them to go on strike 2 weeks ago. The new sporting director now was appointed, and he ran to the commission and they were able to raise 5 match bonuses and paid them. Today now the deputy governor has announced to them that their remaining bonuses will be paid to them. So you have players who cannot give you that result. And again, those players are not even motivated. So that's what you have. That was why I told them when they sacked Yema, that Yema was not the problem. That the problem is that what you have cannot give you the results you want. And it's playing out today. So it started from a team that won the league. Then you had coaches like Yema and Finidi. Later, Finidi left for the national team, and Yema stayed, and they almost won the league the next season because a couple of those players were still there, which they lost to Rangers International. Okay, they later finished third on the law. Then the next year, you see them, they started dwindling and they until where they are today. Now, just opposite with their sister club right there in Abia State, talking about Abia Warriors. Look at where Abia Warriors is. For the first time last season, Abia Warriors finished ahead of Enyimba. And this is Abia Warriors is even chasing the league. Abia Warriors is chasing the league. Enyimba is 2 points above relegation table. So relegation zone. So you can see the funny thing. So I just believe that it will be gotten right this time around because the fish started rotting from the head. So if they will be able to correct the administrative part of it, I'm sure they will get it right. It's not a rocket science.
It is not rocket science. If they can actually get it right, things will get back to normal for Enyimba FC, the giants of Nigerian football, the Aba Elephants, the Elephants of Aba. All right, so we look forward to more updates from the camp of Enyimba to see if that sack will happen or if we will see a turnaround in the fortunes of Enyimba. Thank you very much, Nna Henry, for joining us on the show today. Always a pleasure having you. Thank you for joining.